So here's the thing. When you're pushing your body to the limit and your heart is pounding out of your chest and your muscles are burning and your lungs are gasping for breath, your body's not craving creatine. It's not craving nitric oxide. It's not craving carbs. It's not craving protein. It's craving oxygen. Unless you're completely starving or an ultra endurance athlete, oxygen is pretty much always the limiting factor in muscle performance, and that's just a scientific fact. And what makes using portable oxygen even more attractive is that it contains no stimulants, no sugars, and no calories. You never crash from it. You can use it at night and it doesn't affect your sleep. You never have to worry about cycling off and on it. There's no toxicity or negative side effects. Your body never gets used to it. It's legal by the World Anti-Doping Agency. And it gives incredible performance benefits in the areas of power, endurance, and recovery. So when you compare portable oxygen to all of the other so-called performance enhancers on the market today, there's really no comparison. It's a no-brainer. When you look at everything in black and white, portable oxygen is a clear winner, hands down, in every aspect. There's basically three things you need to know about how oxygen affects athletic performance. The first thing is that oxygen combines with glucose to create ATP, the main energy source for your muscles. The more ATP your body can create, the more powerful and explosive your muscles will be. The second thing is that when your muscles don't receive enough oxygen to support their exertion, they begin to produce lactic acid, which can cause muscle fatigue and failure. The more oxygen you provide your muscles, the slower the production of lactic acid and the slower the rate of muscle fatigue, which means you have greater endurance. And the third thing is that oxygen is needed by your body to break down lactic acid after exercise. So the more oxygen you provide your body post-exercise, the faster your muscles can recover. The thing about oxygen is that it always works. It's a scientific fact that the more oxygen you get to your muscles, the better they perform and the faster they recover. I'll give you an example. If I took an athlete and I had them do a very intense workout at 7,000 foot elevation where there's not much oxygen in the air, and then I took that same athlete and I took them down to sea level and had them do the exact same workout, 100% of the time they'd have more power, more endurance, and faster recovery at sea level where there's more oxygen. Not 70%, not 80%, not 90%. 100% of the time at sea level where there's more oxygen, that athlete will have more power, more endurance, and faster recovery. Okay, so there's no reason to question whether or not oxygen works. The only question is whether or not our product provides enough oxygen to create a noticeable difference in athletic performance and recovery. Well, after 2.5 years of putting hundreds of athletes on oxygen in all different sports, I can say without any hesitation that I believe that it does. I probably have a 90 to 95% success rate over that time. And with the ones who didn't get results, I really believe that it was just because they weren't willing to work with me long enough to get the results they were looking for. Because as with any supplement, there's definitely a learning curve when it comes to using oxygen. But if you take the time to figure it out and get it dialed in for you as an individual, it should work well every time you use it. So here are the main benefits that people are reporting when they use our portable oxygen for sports and fitness applications. Increased power and explosiveness, increased endurance, reduced lactic acid muscle burn, faster warm-up times, faster recovery between sets, and faster recovery between training days. So as you can see, the benefits of oxygen cover every aspect of physical performance. And I tell people all the time, if we just took the benefits it offers for power and explosiveness, we'd have a hugely successful product. If we just took the benefits it offers for endurance, we'd have a hugely successful product. And if we just took the benefits it offers for recovery, we'd have a hugely successful product. But oxygen does all of it, and it would definitely be ranked at the top of each of those categories. So it's not difficult to understand why we're so excited about it and truly believe that it is destined to be the next big craze in sports and fitness. Many competitive athletes ask me if using oxygen all the time will create dependence and reduce their overall fitness levels. And my honest answer to that is that I have no reason to believe it will happen based on what I'm seeing with athletes who've been using oxygen consistently over a long period of time. There's a new training philosophy called hyperoxic training that is really catching on with the high-level endurance athletes. Hyperoxic training is almost the opposite of altitude training. The athlete actually trains under elevated oxygen levels by wearing an oxygen mask while riding a stationary bike or running on a treadmill. By having the added oxygen, these athletes are able to put out higher powers and faster speeds for longer periods of time. And the theory is that by having the athlete consistently perform at higher levels, their muscles respond much faster to training. And if you look up hyperoxic training on the internet, you'll find research articles that explain how well this philosophy is actually working for people. And just to simplify, let me put it to you this way. Anytime you can train harder, do more reps, push heavier weights, do more sets, and recover faster, you will get faster results from your training, period. I don't think anyone will disagree with that statement. So if portable oxygen allows you to train harder and recover faster, it makes complete sense that your muscles will respond faster to that training simply because of the increase in workload. I've talked to several medical doctors about our product, and none of them have ever raised any safety concerns. Because when you look at the research, oxygen toxicity only occurs when you breathe pure oxygen for hours at a time under elevated pressures. Some of our astronauts have actually breathed pure oxygen for up to 2 weeks straight at a time without any adverse side effects. And our cans only contain 60 seconds of continuous flowing oxygen, and the oxygen is not delivered through an airtight delivery system, so oxygen toxicity is really not an issue. As a matter of fact, we have athletes inhale a whole can before a competition all the time, and we have never had any problems. So here are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Would you rather be a step ahead of your competition or a step behind your competition? Would you rather get faster results from your training or slower results from your training? Would you rather always perform to the best of your ability in competition? Or is performing your best in competition not really important to you? The bottom line is that if you're not using oxygen, you're not getting the fastest possible results from your training, and you're not performing your best in competition. That I can guarantee you. So you either need to get on it or get left behind. Think about that.